10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. What a fight! I think Guerrero won it.
Juan, the Hispanic causing panic, Lascano.
Smile from Manny Pacquiao. Oh, counter assertive!
Mano derecha, dos oportunidades. El Canelo alcanzó ese daño con
And thanks to those joining me live, those will be joining me on the archive. It's an archive, but make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the, thumbs it up, hit the bell, hit the notify, hit the all, and subscribe if you like the content. If you're listening on the archive, leave a comment. Tell me what you think. What are your thoughts? And we'll keep going. We will go from there. Woo-wee. Anthony Joshua has to be, I swear to God, the most disrespected boxer of his caliber I've ever seen. I mean, this is crazy. What do you mean? I'm telling you, right? Let me just tell you this, man. Jake Paul cannot beat Anthony Joshua, right? But like, you got people out of here that are literally believing Jake's going to beat Anthony Joshua. And I'm just going to flat out say it. If the fight isn't fixed, Joshua's going to destroy Jake Paul. And we're going to know when we watch it. We're just going to know what's up. All right? I'll just put it that way. But how can you say? I'm just telling you right now. The only reservations the bookies have is like they're not 100% sure this shit's legit, right? And that's just my opinion. It is what it is. If Jake Paul wants to sue me and I'm going to sue you, if you say I don't give a shit, there's nothing to sue. It's my opinion. All right. So it's going to be 12 rounds. 3 minutes, 10-ounce gloves, and 8 rounds. 8 rounds. I think I said 12, but 8. 3-minute rounds. Okay. And Anthony Joshua should absolutely destroy Jake Paul. Like, but you're hating on Jake Paul. I'm not hating on anybody. I'm just keeping it real with you guys. All right. That's just how I feel about it. If this is legit in any way, shape, or form, Anthony Joshua to absolutely destroy Jake Paul, and I believe that's what's going to happen. Okay? So I'm just going to put that out there. I have reservations and doubts if this fight even happens. Like, I'm still like kind of, I don't know. It has PR stunt written all over it, but it is what it is. Jake Paul literally has nothing to lose. So even if he gets destroyed, like I believe he will, it's not going to really hurt his stock. It's going to say, "Oh, he's not really a heavyweight. Come on, this guy only has a couple of fights. He was an influencer, and he goes in there, and then he's not a loser. He's a winner in life, and this, that, and the third. That's cool, right? But that's where we are. All right. But I will say this: that it still feels surreal when you look at a poster and you see Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua on it. I want Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. Like, why can't we get that? Why can't we get Anthony Joshua versus Wilder? Oh, but the money, I don't want to hear the explanations. I know Netflix is putting up a lot of money. I know he's winning the fight. There's a lot of money. I get all that, right? I get it. But I don't need you guys to explain it to me. Oh, let me tell you this stuff. It's a business. And like, give me the whole. I get it. But Jesus, this is what's wrong with the sport. How many sports can do just like walk in and do this? Like, this is crazy, right? So Anthony Joshua should absolutely obliterate and squash this dude like a bug, bro. There's no doubt in my mind. But if something looks funny in the fight, then it's gonna look funny in the fight. It's just what it is, bro. Right? Like, even if Anthony Joshua is shot, even if his chin is quote unquote gone, even if Anthony Joshua has like he's at the tail end of his career at this point, he should still be able to absolutely squash Jake Paul. But Anthony Joshua, this dude gets so disrespected. I remember on the lead up to the Ngannou fight, I did a roundtable, and there was all these other panelists acting like it's like a real like they were acting like they wouldn't admit it, but they were acting scary. They were kind of worried that Ngannou may beat Joshua, right? All the polls everywhere, right, had Ngannou winning like 80% and 20%, and all the MMA channels were just convinced he's going to go in and just wipe the floor with Joshua, knock him out, right? I mean, it was crazy. I couldn't believe it. What happened in that fight is exactly what I said was going to happen. Anthony Joshua, as long as he took Ngannou serious, which he did, would absolutely obliterate the dude. And that's exactly what he did. And I knew that fight was over round one when Ngannou was biting on the feints, by the way. I knew it was over. Oh, he's biting. That's it. It's done. This is where we are. Like Anthony Joshua gets no respect, bro. This is the former unified heavyweight champion of the world, and dude, you have dudes out here acting like Jake Paul has a legitimate shot, and the word "legitimate" is very important here. And to be frank, I don't think Anthony Joshua is gonna sell out. I don't. Anthony Joshua is swimming in money. All right. If this fight actually happens, he should take out Jake Paul in 3 rounds or less. If it goes to 5 rounds, even if he destroys Jake Paul, that is a loss for Anthony Joshua. So I'm just telling you right now, Anthony Joshua is not going to lose Jake Paul. I'm more confident about this than I was about the Ngannou fight. In fact, I think Ngannou will probably beat Jake Paul. So, like, what I'm telling you guys right now, right? This dude is so disrespected, bro. Like, people, like, they just don't got respect for this dude, bro. Like, I don't know what it is. Everyone just thinks Anthony Joshua's like a chump. Like, I'm telling you, like, boxing fans and people in the boxing industry, they think this dude is a chump. I mean, I don't know. Like when he lost to Usyk, oh, he lost to little cruiserweight. Oh, I can't believe he lost to little cruiserweight. Right now, you see how good fucking Usyk is. Clearly beat Fury twice. He freaking knocked out Dubois like twice. Like you see how good the dude is, right? When Anthony Joshua lost him, oh, he didn't know how to use his size. He had no skill. He's a chump. They talk about Anthony Joshua like he's a chump. The disrespect that Anthony Joshua gets, I don't know if it's his demeanor, the way he talks. I don't know what it is. People just think he's a chump, bro. If this was if they had done Fury versus Jake Paul, everybody would be furious right now at Fury and saying, why the fuck are you fighting Jake Paul? Like, what's the matter with you? You're gonna fucking destroy this kid. Like, why would they even sanction this? But since it's Anthony Joshua, like, they think he's a chump. We have boxing fans thinking Ngannou's gonna wipe the floor with them. Like, this is nuts. What is it about AJ that you guys think the dude's a chump? Like, I'll fight AJ. Like, even like Andre Ward, like, I have one fight, it will be AJ. Like, they think this dude is a chump, bro. I never seen a dude 6'6", right? Former heavyweight champion of the world, get talked to and talked about. He's a chump. Anthony Joshua, right? Walk up to him at an airport, shove the dude. You better pray he doesn't fight back. He would kill most of us with a clean shot, right clock in the face. But you guys want to talk about him like he's a chump, right? Is it because he doesn't cuss a lot? Is it like what is it about AJ that people think he's a chump? This is nuts. Shout out to Mars Book Sale. Will a 245 catcher have an effect on AJ? I don't think so. I think he weighed around that or lower against Usyk the first time, I think. And he weighed like lower than that in the rematch for that Ruiz. He's always around the 250 mark. It is what it is, bro. Like I think the catch weight was just something that they were negotiating because they didn't really want to fight. And then AJ said, yeah, I'll do it. I believe something's gonna happen. Like hey, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I don't think the fight's gonna happen, bro. I just don't. It's my intuition. I don't have proof. I just don't think the fight's gonna happen. All right. Someone's gonna get injured. Something's gonna happen. I said the same thing about the Tank fight. I didn't think it was gonna happen. Although I'm not necessarily saying I was right about that. It looks like it was projected to happen, but Tank fucked it up. Right. But there's just something surreal and weird about this. It just feels weird. Even the bookies are acting scary and weird. I don't know if because they think this was a chump or like I don't get what makes people think this was a chump, bro. I think we have boxing fans that walk around thinking they could take AJ in a street fight or something. And there's probably some of you out there that think you could take on AJ because, like, for whatever reason, you look at him, you're like, right? You look at like even like Amir. Remember Amir Khan was accusing AJ of sleeping with his girl, with his wife. Remember that? Just called him out. Like, hey, you slept with my wife. What the fuck? Like, he just called him out, bro. We know what AJ would do to Amir Khan. Like, Amir Khan had no fear, bro. Like, it's whatever. It's fucking AJ. Well, just because he's 6'6", former heavyweight champion in the world, and he said, "Well, my wife, you think Shinny me is scared of him? What's up, AJ? Like, I don't know what it is about Anthony Joshua. I just don't know what it is, bro. I couldn't believe all the people were saying, "Oh man, he's gonna Ngannou's gonna knock out AJ." I couldn't believe the odds. I couldn't believe the polls. All the MMA fans were just like they were celebrating in advance. Like they really did believe it was a foregone conclusion. As soon as he hits AJ in the chin, it's over. Like this is nuts. Wet boxing fans, all scary. Oh man, I don't know. Joshua, he hasn't been the same. Ngannou might beat him. Oh, it might be good for boxing if he wins. Like, what are you talking about? Why do people think AJ's a chump, bro? Like, I just don't get. Like, what is it about AJ? Is it like the British accent? Is it what is it? They just think he's a chump. As long as this fight ain't fixed, let me tell you something, he's going to destroy Jake Paul. All right? Period. The people picking Jake Paul to win are the same people that think They could beat up like AJ in the street or something. Like, it's the same dudes, bro. Like, it's the same dudes. The disrespect, bro. Like, this is nuts, bro. I feel disrespected for AJ. Imagine how he feels. Maybe he doesn't care. I don't know. Right? The disrespect. I mean, I'm telling you, bro. And it's been like that for a while, though. For whatever reason, people, they just don't. They think he's a chump. Shout out to Aplo. How's it going, bro? Shout out to Blood. I don't know if he did or didn't, 92, but Amir Khan accused him of doing it. Why did Amir Khan go to social media and accuse Anthony Joshua of banging his wife? I don't know. Like, you go ask Amir Khan about that. AJ denied it, right? All I'm saying is that this Cheney dude, like, stepped up to AJ in front of everybody like it ain't no big deal, because like they think he's a chump, right? You think Amir Khan would have confronted a prime Mike Tyson if he found out he said with his wife? No, there's no fucking way, bro. There's no way, right? Andre Ward was like, oh, yeah, I'll come back. I'll fight AJ. Bro, Andre Ward's just talking about AJ like he ain't nothing, bro. I'll beat that dude. Like, I'll come back. I'll come out of retirement, beat that dude. Like everyone just thinks he can just beat up Anthony Joshua, bro. Like, it is what it is. All right? And I'm going to say this right now. If Anthony Joshua fights Tyson Fury, I would favor Anthony Joshua in that fight. And even, like it is what it is, right? But I don't know what it is. People just... AJ could fight anybody, and they'll think like there's a chance he could lose. All right, they could announce Anthony Joshua against Haplotype, and people will be like, I don't know, man. I seen Haplotype hit the bag over there in Los Angeles. Like, he might actually get to AJ. He might beat him. Anthony Joshua versus Blood boxing. I don't know, man. Like, Blood really knows his boxing. Have you seen his documentaries? I mean, I'm just saying. I'm not saying he's gonna win, but I mean, it is AJ. Like, that's how people talk about Anthony Joshua, bro. Right? So it is what it is. All right? They're just calling him, it's just whatever. Like, he's a chump. Former unified heavyweight champion who knocked out Klitschko. Right? He's knocked out all these heavyweights. Like, what are we doing? Even if you're not impressed with the dudes he beat, that's amongst the heavyweights, like the boxers. Like, people just look at the dude like he's just easy pickings. You know, like, okay, like, I guess. How did that work out when the Ngannou fight happened? How'd that work out? The other thing people are doing, like, nobody thought that Andy Ruiz could beat him. Bro. They're comparing this dude, Jake, to fucking Andy Ruiz, bro. I mean, this is nuts. Wow. Well, this event's going to do major numbers, bro. If they could convince a certain amount of casuals that this dude could beat Anthony Joshua, it's going to do major numbers, right? So, I don't know, man. Ngannou might beat him, and you know what? I used to have a friend. It might be good for boxing. I think it would be great. Like get the fuck out of here. After AJ wins, thank you for winning it, Joshua. We needed that, right? What are we doing? What are we doing? Something scary, right? Anthony Joshua's a fucking lion, bro. Right? He might be like Simba, like maybe he's not Mufasa, right? But maybe he's like Simba, right? A little more chill, like, you know what I mean, or whatever. But yeah, what happened? What happened when Scar stepped up to him? What happened? Scar wouldn't step up to Mufasa, right? But he thought Simba was a chump. But what happened? Right? Well, Simba fucked him up, right? If I remember the movie, I haven't watched it. I was like 7 years old, but isn't that what happened? Right? A little more chill. It is what it is. Okay, cool. All right. If this fight goes a distance, bro, You know what they should have in the contract? If it goes to this and Jake Paul wins, so that should be in the contract, right? If this dude sees the final bell, I don't give a shit. You're beating them pillar to post. Like, you lose, AJ. All right? Oh, but it's only 8 rounds. That's 8 rounds is more than enough. You need 8 rounds? What are we doing? I don't even think the fight's going to happen, to be honest with you. I don't think the fight's going to happen. I just don't. All right? I just don't think it's going to happen. One last thing I want to end with, and then I'll kind of end it with this, right? Yesterday, if you guys haven't checked it out, you could check it out, right? But Solomon from the Spit Bucket, you know, he jumped on, and we had a little bit of a discussion / debate, right? And I want to just kind of give my thoughts on some of the stuff that happened in that debate, all right? Or whatever you want to call it. It wasn't like an official debate, but we debated, but it wasn't like a debate, but whatever, right? I want to make sure people understand this, that see, when he came on, he gave his thoughts on a lot of things, right? He was just kind of throwing things out there. A lot of fair points, you know, but he was throwing some things out there, and then he kind of just tossed out. He just threw in, like, in the course of the conversation, he threw in some shots my way, which is fine, but that's what he did, right? I don't get mad when people throw shots at me, but it's just I'm going to call you out on it. You know what I mean? And one of his shots was basically, essentially, that fan bases of fighters, right? Which is not a point I completely disagree with, but it's not the main issue that's causing rift in boxing, right? And why the sport is failing across the board. But he said fans of fighters like Tank, and I think he threw Haney's name in there for some reason, and Canelo, justifying their moves, right, is the reason that, you know, it would help lead to the way we're given fights now, right? For some reason, he said, I don't blame Mayweather, even though I think Mayweather is actually the catalyst and the grandfather of it, right? Of less risk, more reward, A side, B side, all that, which he didn't bring up. But he said team mentality is what something that came after that. It was a big problem, which I don't even agree with that. But it's the whole A side, B side, less risk, more reward mentality, right? The Money Mayweather mentality was essentially, to me anyway, that's essentially where the problem started. Then a bunch of Money Mayweather Juniors came about without the pretty boy Floyd stage, and tried to have blueprints that were very similar to Mayweather, right? And one thing he said was in that discussion is that, when have you heard a fighter, a face of boxing, say, I'm going to do what I want? Mayweather did that. That's literally like Canelo got that from Floyd. Literally, right? Floyd's the guy that said, people call me a coward for not fighting Manny Pacquiao right now, but guess what? I'm a rich coward. That's what he said, right? And if we're honest, he didn't fight Pacquiao until Pacquiao finally got knocked out by Marquez. The fight was just done way too late, right? And look, I'm one of the people that believe Mayweather would have won anyway, right? I think Mayweather would beat Manny Pacquiao in 09, 2010, 2011. I always pick Mayweather. The receipts are out there, right? However, it would have been a better fight, right? It would have been a better fight, and Manny had a better shot, right? And that's just the way that is, right? Very, 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 very important, right? Like, to excuse Floyd when he's the godfather of all this, right? Floyd clearly told us he's going to do what he wants, right? I remember when Floyd, right, and this is what happens with guys, and this is no offense, but that just started covering boxing, and they're talking to somebody like me that's been following boxing and covering it over the years, is that I remember how things happen, right? And I remember when Floyd, did a like a poll. Who do you want me to fight, Amir Khan or Maidana? Khan won the poll, and then he fought Maidana anyway, right? Nobody wanted to see the Maidana fight. Nobody wanted to see the Robert Guerrero fight. But there's a lot of fights that happened that were necessary, right? Right. But that's that, right? Like that. I just wanted to bring that point up, right? And also, he threw in the course of what he said, right? He said that, oh, you for the last 5 years, you've been justifying everything Canelo's been doing, and until you finally saw the light last year, and you finally called him out, right? And then I wouldn't let it go because I was going to unpack that. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go over that, right? If you're going to make a claim about, because it wasn't about defending Canelo, it was about defending myself and my character, right? Like you're essentially calling me a fanboy. You're essentially saying that I'm unreasonable when it comes to Canelo about anything, right? And if that's somebody's opinion, that's fine, but don't expect me to not bring that up, because you're essentially saying guys like me are part of the problem with boxing, right? I would say guys like me open the door for guys like you to cover the sport, right? But if we leave that aside, right? Let's just put that aside for a second. The reason I didn't let it go, and this is anytime you have any type of discussion with anybody, right? If they say something that's false, don't let them move on to other things until that's unpacked and they concede that it's false. Because if you do that, right, you're going to let them just make claims, and sometimes you got to slow things down and go step by step, piece by piece, right? I'm not going to be told that I tolerate anything and everything Canelo does when I did shows and I criticized Canelo for not doing a Benavidez fight. I had a discussion with Black and Brown about how I did not like the Berlanga fight, right? When I have a history of criticizing Canelo on this channel. But what I'm also not going to do is apologize for being a fan of Canelo, right? You see, there's been a movement in the last, I would say, like 5 to 6 years of guys that want to come on and they're like, I'm neutral. I'm not a fan of fighters. I'm a fan of boxing, right? I love all boxing, not just boxers, right? The reality is this, and I don't care what anybody says, everyone has their favorite fighters. Everyone has preferences, all right? I love Street Fighter, right? But my favorite character to use was Ryu, right? It didn't mean I didn't like the game, and I didn't like the other characters in the game. That was my favorite, right? As of right now, Canelo is along with guys like Virgil Ortiz, who I just criticized this week, by the way. He's like one of my favorite fighters. Just because someone is my favorite fighter, it doesn't mean I don't criticize them, right? And if you're going to call me a fanboy, I'm going to correct that. And you don't get to just say, oh, why are we stuck on this topic? Because you brought it up. Because you said something disparaging about me, right? That's not true. That's why. That's why it was brought up. Why do we take such a long time with it? On that one specific thing, because you wouldn't concede. And when you were trapped, right, and you couldn't prove my points otherwise, right, you did the whole, I don't know, let's just move on. Why are we stuck on this topic? Like, because you brought it up. Why are we talking about Canelo? Of course, if I bring up Canelo to somebody that loves Canelo, like, again, no, that's going to get called out. Like at the end of the day, whoever talks, and it's always been like this with me. Somebody brings up a point, right, and it's not true. We're not moving on till that gets unpacked. Like, it just is what it is, right? If you were just as loud when it comes to Canelo than what I said, I'm always loud. I'm always loud. You know what I mean? So, like, it is what it is. I was pretty loud when I was criticizing Canelo. All right? So, like, what are you going to do? With that said, I just want to say that because at the end of the day, are boxing fans really the worst fans in the world? Or are you just living in a bubble? And boxing is one of the things that you pay attention to, right? Because the last thing I want to leave on is this. And this is where the fundamental disagreement was. To the host of the Spit Bucket, and it's not just him. And by the way, this topic about fans and how they're mistreated in the sport, I've been talking about this for years. That this is not like something I just brought up. If you look at an empty arena and you blame the fans for it, not the organizers, not the institutions, not the promoters, not the fighters, right? For failing to give people what they want. This didn't just happen overnight, guys. All those cities that were popping and all that, like a lot of them got abandoned. A lot of fights got taken to Vegas. I get all that. But the sport has been decreasing in popularity over the years. If the flowers, if you have a rose garden and the roses aren't blooming, do you really blame the roses? I could these fucking roses, man, they don't want to bloom. Like, what the fuck's the matter with that? Right? It's not those that are watering it, taking care of it. Man, I don't know how the whole rose thing works, but like managing the sun and the shade or whatnot, it has nothing to do with that. You're going to blame the roses? Doesn't work that way. Does not work that way. That's not how it works. If you go to a restaurant and everything is empty, you and your wife or you and your girlfriend, you're the only ones there, right? Is your conclusion really going to be, oh, it's because these customers are horrible people. They don't want to come. They suck, right? Or is that restaurant not doing what they need to do to get people through that door to eat at the restaurant? Don't be surprised if you start eating the food and it's not that good. All right? If Lubin, like my argument was only if Lubin versus Ortiz didn't sell out the arena, right? That's not because fans are suck. That's not what that is. Anecdotal examples of, wow, people texting me wanting free tickets doesn't cut it. That's not empirical data, right? It just means that the sport just isn't that popular, right? That's what that means. It means that most of that city didn't care that there was boxing or Virgil Ortiz in the city. That's all it means. And more people are like that. They don't give a shit about the sport. Even if they used to be fans of it, they don't care about it anymore. And what is boxing doing to bring those people back? It's not going to get fixed in one fight. You got to move the needle. right? Like it's going to take work. It's going to take consistency to build on something. And that work needs to be done by those that have the supply, the promoters, the networks, the fighters. That's not the job of the fans. If somebody doesn't feel that something's worth paying for, then too bad. And I agree, Remy, but all people are toxic. It isn't unique to boxing fans, right? Do boxing fans say crazy shit and say crazy shit about fighters? Of course. But fans of all sports say crazy shit about, athletes. Right? It's in all sports. And this is the message I've been hitting home for a while. In fact, it's the hardcore fans that are truly keeping it alive. Don't blame the fans. Look at the product, right? Look at that. Improve the product. That's it. And if you do improve the product and you do have a great card and it doesn't sell out, well, that's because you haven't been doing it consistently. You got to keep doing it consistently. That's what it takes at the end of the day. So, with that said, guys, I got to get going. And that is that. I appreciate everybody that tuned in. This is D-Style, and I'm out. Peace.